the simple continuum of this is that, of course, people are either trying to reinvent yesterday a little cheaper, or they're trying to get to tomorrow a little earlier. And there's a big gap between them, Those folk trying to do yesterday cheaper have built a compliant curriculum where just do what you're supposed to do, don't argue. You're supposed to, an exclamation is a sentence with a thing on the end and it starts with these words. That's it, that's the truth, Because it isn't the truth. So what we really want is the inquisitive curriculum where you're saying, well, I'm not sure if that's true. Let's look at works of literature, let's look online, let's look at people tweeting. They seem to do exclamations in a very different way, including little faces going, OMGs, So the inquisitive curriculum is asking questions of, how can I apply the knowledge I've got to solve problems? How can I be inquisitive? And how can I make things? Of course, if you can make things, then I can't critique anything until I've constructed it, because until I've constructed it, I can't deconstruct it. If I can't deconstruct it, I can't critique it. So it turns out if we want to make better learning, we need kids who've had a go at making learning and in constructing it. And they say, well, sir, there's a couple of things I think you could do differently, No, we know this for a long time. I remember Max Brzezinski at Loughborough College 10 years ago. He said to his kids, if you see a good lesson going on, take out your phone, film the best bits, make a little multimedia presentation, and we'll look at it before every staff meeting. So you've got a really chasm here really now between the schools that are saying to kids, this is what you've got to learn, just learn it, sod off. And this is the kind of facts not skills agenda, which is quite an educational fundamentalist view, Now, whether they were right or wrong in the past, in the present, they're sure as hell are wrong. And it certainly isn't going to deliver the world we need, I hope you need, of how do we solve problems in the future, how do we cope with the unexpected. So they kind of do tomorrow cheaper, look backwards, don't argue, do it, seem to me to be going absolutely nowhere. There's quite a lot of them, there's quite a lot of lemmings, and they're all straight off the cliff, Actually, they're not really, lemmings don't do that. This isn't the 60s, this isn't not kind of go and sit in a tree and think for a term and then come back. This is hard-nosed, real progress. Kids get one go at being kids. Teachers get one go at a career. Parents get one go at parenting. We don't want to muck it up, and the wildest, most reckless, foolish experiment the world's ever seen is to keep doing learning the same way for 50 years, which didn't work 50 years ago, and it sure as hell doesn't work now. So, people are being reckless with children, being reckless with careers. Teachers are hemorrhaging from the profession, because they know they've got eyes and ears. They know what this is. Crap, to be honest. Yeah. And they know it can be better. And they know that kids and teachers and parents and communities and technology and equipment can make it better. Because we don't want finished schools. We want schools that can continually change. One of my Madrid schools, the sign on the door, it says classroom of tomorrow. And then, it's very clear there's work in progress going on, It's a permanent sign that says we're never going to finish it. The people who want those very simplistic models of nationalism are also bizarrely the people who are arguing for an unquestioning curriculum where, never mind whether it's right or wrong, learn it, I've said it, it must be right. The president says there were a lot of people at the inauguration. There were a lot of people at the inauguration, and we've seen in history that often enough, But you don't get out of trouble with the economy without people who can question. And part of the problem, part of the reason we got into a mess with Brexit and Trump and so on, is we didn't have enough children who were critically aware of what anybody was saying. And I'm not talking about one side or the other. You had people making reckless promises on both sides. There was no level of debate. It was, well, I've heard him and he's a sneaky Turek, and I've heard her. She doesn't seem any better. I don't know who to trust. Whereas what we want is people who say, I don't know whether to trust that or that. Let's do the research together and find out.